Thank you for staying awake for the last presentation of the day, but I think this is like the best one you're going to see. Anyway. So basically, my name is Pornsak Songkakul. I'm from the Siemens Building Technology. We are pretty much the developers of the Apogee automation systems. I'm part of the research and development group. Out of all the research, basically the last question you're going to be asking is that, so what? So my task in this project is to be able to tell you a little bit about what we plan in order to be able to say, so what, to this result from this research project. Right? So basically, from the commercialization standpoint, the typical process that we usually go through for all the innovation, for all the research that we come up, we need to identify some of the significant ones. And for this project, we kind of focus on whatever the SCR produced first. That's our first step, right? In order to justify the development, we need to understand what the market size. So we're going to be conducting some market evaluation. In addition to that, in order to get a better estimate of what the development cost should be, we usually do some type of technical feasibility and technical evaluation to pick the best approach to do the product development. So that's the front end before we can even reach the go, no-go decision, right? And after we reach the go, no-go decision, I'm just going to talk a little bit about our development process. I'm going to use this one. Okay. Start off with the significant research findings. As I mentioned, we're going to target first the three things that we think provide a lot of innovation in this project. The smart energy box concept, the local energy gateway that's doing the distributed load control, and then the tool for the demand response capacity assessment. Those are the three ones that we're going to be concentrating on at first. Let me show you a little bit about the current market situation. This is a study done by Pike Research recently. In 2012, there's about 24,000 sites in North America for automated demand response, meaning the site is ready to accept the demand response event and automatically execute the demand response control action. Again, we're just going to focus on this North America, but you can look at the Asia Pacific and European number too. The same report, in 2018, we see some prediction of higher number of the automated demand response site, up to maybe 109,000, which is about threefold increase in the site in North America. One of the things that surprised us when you look at this report is that the Asia Pacific, they're going to be active, they're going to be more and more active in automated demand response. And I think Marianne mentioned this morning too that they are also interested in a lot of open ADI and going with the standard. Right? So 109,000 sites. What does it come down to in terms of dollars? That's what we're interested in as a product developers. The same report talk about 1.2 billion in spending, but not just for the EDR. This is the catch, right? That 1.2 billion will involve turning some of the dumb building into a smarter building. The building has pneumatic, might have to be upgraded to the digital controller, right? They have to upgrade from digital controller, maybe add the building automation system to that to make the building a little bit smarter. So when it comes down to out of the 1.2 billion, if we look at how can we justify the further development of the SEB, local energy gateway, and some of the tools, I think we still need some more additional market study to just look at, besides making a dumb building smarter, how much the customer will be willing to spend money in adding some of the advanced features for the demand reduction. So that's something that we need to do before we can even make a decision. Right? From the technical feasibility, the first thing we usually do is like, how does this research fit into our portfolio, our existing portfolio, right? Right now, in our BT portfolio, we have somewhat like a hardware box that can automatically receive the signal and do the control. It's already the product in the market, right? So that one, again, execute predefined control strategy, get all the direct reduction. We also just released another Instead of making a hardware, firmware box, it's a software. So basically that software just sitting aside of the Apogee automation system, have some built-in load shedding logic capability, be able to respond to demand response event that coming to the software. And again, communication can be done to BACnet or our proprietary systems. So this is where we are. Now, when we look at the SEB, when we look at the local energy gateway, we try to get the conceptual first. How can we fit those products? How we can fit the research into this whole thing? So you look at it from the standpoint, it probably fit well with the software infrastructure, such that the automation client that we already have can take advantage of some of the key features, some of the advanced features from the SEB. That's one thing. Or maybe if the SEB performs so good that like maybe we can replace the whole thing with the SEB. That still has to be determined. But that's a potential that how the architecture will fit into the existing BT portfolio, right? Adding to that, distributed load controller, local energy gateway. It's a similar things. Event coming in, we still have to do that. How this thing get the signal, how this thing work with the smart energy box, how this thing work with distributed load. This research already identified the possibility how to do it. Make it practical in the field, that's another question that we need to ask. So we have a conceptual of what the architecture will be like, right? But in terms of practicality, now we have to look at the field practicality. What will be the cost of installing, configuring, and all those things to make that things work, just like we have done in our research. So I just want to mention a few things that come to mind, right? Energy simulation, Longstream present a very good result on how can we use the simulation to predict the savings and so on. But getting down another level, how much time we have spent on that? And in practicality, we might not have a month, we might not have 3 months, we might have, from the cost install point, 1 or 2 weeks just to complete that part because there's so many other things around there. So those are the things that maybe we have to look at alternate technologies or some options to allow us to create that energy simulation model faster. And maybe the 5% might not be needed, 10% might be enough, but we can cut the time down by 80%. Those are some of the part of the technical evaluation, the feasibility. The same thing with the strategy, selector, strategy, executor. How can we modify, instead of running genetic algorithm for 24 hours to get the result, maybe we simplify it, might need to simplify it and get the result within 15 minutes such that we can use the same techniques to be able to respond to like 15 minutes event. We have it 15 minutes coming in, we can demonstrate and then get that. So this is still have to be evaluated and look at. From the BMS adapter, a platform that Prasad already mentioned, it's already had the BACnet, and it will be easier to add Modbus and so on. So that can be done. So at the moment, we are looking at it. We haven't said, we couldn't decide yet go, no go. So as I mentioned, we still need to understand the market. We still need to understand some of the options to be able to do the development so that we can better estimate the development cost. And it's not me, it will involve our product marketing, it will involve our portfolio management manager to look at this whole thing. So that's in the work. I just want to mention real quick, let's say it's go, no go, right? If it's a go, the typical development process in our organization is we have what we call a gate-based development process, of which each step of the development process, we have specific tasks and responsibility assigned to each team member. We have multiple milestones to do the cross-checking of the progress and the cost and the features and the requirements. And then we have a formal project management level review that happen. The most important thing in making the product is the test and quality assurance. Software product, at least 3 or 4 steps. The unit testing, those are the software developers handling all the unit testing. Then it goes to the system testing. Basically, install that in the whole building system, have it all works in the whole overall systems. And then we usually go down to the beta site to do some field testing. And as the critical issues as a product, we develop some problems. We have to resolve it before the product can be released. And commercial release, this is now, with the new technology, it's also a challenge to us. not just introduce that technology internally to our own people, but also to our customer, convince the customer the value of such a technology. Usually it involves a few different things. This is just a sample of that. We usually have a product launch features for like maybe 10 major locations around the country. Then we invite the customer to come in and we talk about the product features. We usually be at ASHRAE, BOMA, IEEE, not IEEE, but AEE, the Association of Energy. And we also conduct a lot of webinars, internal and external. For the internal webinar, basically these are dealing with people who are going to be installing the system. These are going to be people who design the system and fit into the building. And in some case, where the technology, we involve something like Energy Plus, of which it's not our own technology, but we might have to basically sign up our people to attend those trainings to get them up to speed in those tools and techniques. And with that, that's in the bottom line, we are planning, we are trying to address so what to this project, because there's a result, the innovation that everybody's in this project present during the past 4 hours is intriguing. We just have to now be able to say, is it justified for the development for the next step? And it's not me alone, but the product marketing manager and the portfolio management manager will be involved in this whole process.
Thank you very much.